Hello. I'm going to show you how to make a stir fry today, and this is a really good thing to do um, during these times when you just, don't want to go to the store because this is a super flexible recipe. I'm just using vegetables in my refrigerator that I have or that are about to go bad, and so I can use them. And you don't, I'm going to use beef. I'm using a round steak, but you could use chicken or you could just make it vegetarian and no meat at all. So it's super flexible thing to cook. So let me show you what I have. All right, first thing I'm going to do is marinate the meat I have. So I have in here, I did a lot of pre-prep earlier. So that's the nice thing about doing stir fry is that when you have time earlier in the day, you can get everything ready, and now it's getting close to dinner time. So I'm going to start this. So in here I have soy sauce, and I have a little wine, but you obviously aren't going to use that. But you could use apple juice or grape juice, or there's a lot of stir fry marinade recipes online. So look up something that has, what you have in it. The white that I just put in there is cornstarch, and that's going to thicken the sauce, and some sugar. And then the last thing I added there was ginger. I minced ginger. I used the root, and then I peeled it and minced it really fine. I don't want big chunks of ginger when I eat, so that's why I want to make sure I go really fine. And then, like I said, I used a round steak, but you could use a lot of different types of meat for this, but the trick is to cut it thin. And I did it earlier, so I'm not going to show you, but one trick to doing it thin is to do it almost not completely frozen, because you can't cut through it, but maybe like let it defrost for an hour, hour and a half, and it was still really cold, and that makes it nice and firm and super easy to cut thin. So, and that goes for lots of different meats. For chicken, anytime I want to cut something thin, I usually make sure that it's at least partly frozen, and that does help. Okay, so I'm stirring that sauce in here, and that's just going to give a lot of flavor. And while that's going on, I have a wok, this little wok I've had forever, and I put in a tablespoon of oil. And the first thing I'm going to do is just fry up, or saute, I should say, my vegetables. So I'm going to start with the thickest thing first. So there's broccoli, and I'm going to cook all of. Let me show you the vegetables I'm going to make. I'm going to put some bell pepper that I had these cut up in the refrigerator because we like lots of times like to just dip vegetables in dips, and so these were in there, using those up. I had some mushrooms. I did them a little bit thicker because I know I'm going to cook these and I want them to hold their shape. So not paper thin, just maybe 1/8 of an inch. And then earlier I cut my carrots pretty thin. They're pretty dense, and so they take longer to cook. I had some zucchini in the refrigerator, and so I sliced that. And notice I left the peels on the zucchini. It's just fine. I did peel the carrot. And then I cut my onion in half, and then I just sliced it. So I'm going to have these pieces in the end. But the broccoli is going to take the longest to cook. But my family, or maybe just me, I like my bell peppers pretty well cooked too, so I'm going to throw that in there. So anything you like a little bit softer, throw in the beginning. And anything super thin that will cook fast, you're going to do at the end. All right, here's my bell peppers. And then I'm going to put my zucchini in here. I do have a lot of vegetables. Probably a little too many, but I wanted to use everything in my pantry. Or I'm sorry, refrigerator. All right, I forgot to show me putting it in here, but I did add onions to this too. They were pretty thin, so they were going to cook pretty fast. And then just get it to about how soft or hard that you like it. My family likes things pretty tender, so I cook it quite a while. Now in that same wok, and it's a wok-shaped pot. It's not exactly, I don't know if it's officially a wok, but anyway, I'm going to put some oil in there, some vegetable oil, and then That's almost out. And then I'm going to fry this beef. And it's so thin, as soon as it's not pink, I'm gonna know that it's cooked through. All right, this is the last step. I'm sorry I jumped ahead, but I cooked the meat and then I dumped the vegetables back in, and I'm just gonna toss it to get all that sauce and flavor over everything. And then I'm gonna serve it on just plain white rice, which you should all know how to make.